So hi, I'm Matthew Lawrence. I'm here representing Tolam. We're a company based in St. Louis, Missouri, and we're building a marketplace for carbon offsets, and I would like to tell you about that today. So the reason to build a marketplace is we believe that we need a way to move significant amount of finance from large enterprises to impactful projects. Okay? And the reason that we need to do this is because we feel there's a huge amount of demand for carbon offsets, yet the ability to fund these projects is still lacking. And if we look where those sources of finances could possibly be, this is an interesting graphic. So each of these brands has the same energy output as a country. So we can see that Nike has the same energy output as Estonia. Okay? Coca-Cola has the same energy output as Uruguay. So if we're looking for sources of finance in order to fund the needed projects for climate activation, then these are very good sources. So we need to find a way to move the finance from these singers into impactful projects. And one way to do that is through carbon offsets. So an efficient marketplace where people can trade carbon offsets will be vital for this activity. So Tolam is building a digital assets marketplace to sell quality digital environmental assets that ensure real-time transparency, trust, and scale, both in options, pricing, and portfolio management. So go on a moment to tell you a little bit about what Tolam Marketplace is, but for now we can perhaps discuss what the current situation isn't. And the current situation certainly isn't real-time in any way. So later in the talk I'll be asking my colleague Christian Pye to talk about his experience of projects. And I think one of the things that he'll talk about is the significant lag of finance after the start of the project. So you can wait 1-2 years in order for the payback of your activities. So one thing that we need to do is to bring the finance into the projects to be a lot closer to the actual activity and bridge that gap. At the moment, there's certainly little trust. So when we buy an offset, there's virtually no information about how that offset was created, about the project, about the verification of data that was used as part of that activity. So this means that the actual purchasing decision is extremely difficult because you don't know what the thing is, so you have to investigate the project, you have to do huge amounts of due diligence in order to gain that trust itself. So what we need to do is to move the trust into the asset itself so you can effectively pick it up, look at the data, and have the confidence that this is something that you can buy and be assured of. And certainly at the moment we don't have the scale. So an interesting fact is that if we look at all the offsets that are currently available, they would actually offset the world's carbon production for only 5 days. The amount of scale that we need to make a full year means we need an increase of 90 times the current amount available. So the scale is completely lacking in the entire offsetting environment. So I'll go on to discuss what the marketplace is in a moment, but just to give you some high-level goals that what we're really trying to do is, number one, for the project developers, we're enabling ways for more finance to flow into impactful projects sooner. And for the enterprise, so the purchase of our asset, we're looking at turning the purchase of carbon credits into a strategic activity. Okay, so if we think about how carbon credits are currently bought, I think it's a comparison to the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic. So at that time we had CTOs, very high-level people in organizations who were effectively buying face masks and hand gel. And they were spending their entire daily in this, paying well over the odds to purchase these things. But now, of course, they don't do this. It's been pushed into the operations, they have their hand gel, in procurement processes, etc. And currently offsets are in that position. So instead of it being part of the day-to-day operations of the company, you have high-ranking people making large $100 million or whatever purchases of offsets and having to deal with the due diligence of that at the time. So what we need to do is to make this activity part of the standard operation and strategy of these large organizations in order to make it easy for them to participate. And one key concept that underpins all the activity that we do is that all carbon is not the same. So at the moment we effectively have a commodities market in carbon, so each ton that is produced through whatever activity, either carbon capture, agriculture, through energy reduction of fossil fuels, is effectively treated the same. So this means that as people purchase them, they have more ability to differentiate them, which means that for their own trust and understanding of what the carbon asset is, they hope that it's good, but it could be even fraudulent. And there's no way of differentiating the price of it. So some of these activities are far better for the environment, some of these activities are far more assured and lower risk, yet the pricing is all the same. So we need to get to a position where the tons of carbon are actually considered for their attributes, their individual attributes, and people can take that into consideration as they make purchase decisions and also pricing decisions. So this is the marketplace. So I'm not going to talk about this, it's too complicated, but I just wanted to give this high-level outline. We'll come back to this later. But actually I'm just going to talk about four important aspects of the overall ecosystem. So these are digital measure reporting and notification, DMRV, tokenization, which is done by a tool that I'll describe in the Guardian, price guidance, which is done by some technology called the ARM, and the marketplace itself. And I will consider these in terms of trust, cost, and speed of transaction. So first of all is DMRV. So this is effectively the part of the solution where we consider the exchange from the physical process, which is either agriculture, carbon capture, whatever happens in the real world, to a virtual asset, which is the carbon asset itself. So that has an exchange rate and a level of assurance associated with it. Okay, so first of all, it's very difficult to actually measure carbon directly in the projects that we're talking about here. So it would be easy if we could just take a quick temperature check equivalent, get the carbon measurement, and understand exactly how much carbon is either being reduced or sequestered. But that's very difficult, so we have to use models, we have to use proxies to try and estimate that. And the quality of that estimation is really important. And also the assurance or the understanding or belief that people have in that conversion underpins a belief in the entire system. So the ideal situation would be that we have very high quality models understood by science and people believe in them, so then when we apply those models, people can trust that this amount of carbon has been produced. And that's something we need to achieve. So the DMRV part of the solution that we're trying to bring together is to bring experts from various fields to create what are called methodologies, that's the term to describe this conversion, and to really bring to bear as much expertise as we can so people have a great amount of faith in those methodologies. And we would also like to open source those so that people can not create their own ones to be rivals, but rather contribute to create one trusted source of conversion. So this is a huge activity. There are many different ways that carbon can be either reduced or captured, and each one of these will need its own methodology. So we're working together with the Hedera ecosystem, with leading universities, with experts in the field to try and create these, and the hope is that by the end of 2023 we will have 300 of these open source methodologies available. People can look at them, contribute to them, they can improve them, and hopefully that will gain a level of trust and assurance in this part of the process that is needed. So if we go back to the factors, why will this reduce cost? Okay, so again, we can compare to the current method. So the current method is not digital. The current method is largely paper-based, so people will go out, they will measure trees, they will look at projects. So this is, first of all, hugely expensive, so you have to travel to the place, you have to make manual assessments, and also it's extremely slow. So the fact that you have to do these trips, it's a consultant, you have to book them in maybe months in advance, you have to wait for the assessment to be done and wait for the report. So this is adding lag into the system. So if we were able to make these or increase the digital content, so the automated measurement, then this will mean the cost and the time required to perform the activity will reduce. The next part of the process is called the Guardian. And really this is the thing that takes this data and puts it onto what's called the hash graph, which is like a blockchain, and stores it in a way that that data becomes immutable, so it can't be changed, and it can be highly visible. People can effectively look at that hash graph and see the data and make their own assessment from it. And the Guardian is the workflow engine that is used to do this. Okay, so effectively the Guardian is providing the governance that this data has been entered in the correct way, it's been logged and then it's been recorded, and then that means that people can assess that data with a level of trust to know that it's come from a correct place. Okay, so again, how does this affect trust, cost, and speed of transaction? So first of all, the trust is because this data is now recorded. So the data that previously wasn't available is now highly transparent and visible, so people can see that to make assessment. In terms of the cost, it means that the data is openly accessible. So rather than having to go through papers, find or whatever, you can download the data and make assessments on it automatically. And the speed of transactions, because of the high transparency of this data, is visible. People are able to pull this into due diligence processes that are automated rather than effectively having to read documents and make manual assessments. The next part of the ecosystem I'd like to talk about is the ARM. So this is the part that provides pricing guidance. So if we imagine that carbon is being bought and sold, there's a huge amount of complexity in that transaction. So people have got to assess that carbon, understand its background, and then understand its value to them. Okay, so different buyers will have different perceptions of what they're trying to achieve and the value they place on that. And at the moment, this is extremely difficult in terms of an assessment and negotiation between buyer and seller. So we heard yesterday in the panel that people are taking 3 months to make these transactions. So in order to, first of all, identify a potential seller, get the data you need, make the assessment, it's a huge amount of time. Okay? And effectively that can't be the way that this business is done. So we have to make that a decision of minutes rather than months. Okay? So one way to do that is by using the ARM. Okay, so if you go back to the kind of guiding light that all cargoes have the same, this is road in the way that it means that you can really assess that carbon in terms of many attributes. So it's quality in terms of additionality, durability, leakage. You can assess it in terms of the project. So where is the project? Who is participating in it? What kind of project is it? And also potential co-benefits. So has it also created some social benefits? So for example, improved health or education. Okay, so all these attributes are available. Okay, and they're interesting things for many people to make a decision on. However, it just makes that decision very complicated. Okay, so this is where the ARM really comes in to help the situation. And what it's able to do is to look at these different attributes. It's able to understand which of these things people are interested in, which they place value on, and also, conversely, which things they're less interested in or find could be substituted without real issue. And then it forms groups of assets under these conditions, so what's called asset pools. And then once we have this understanding of these pools, a value can be placed on them by looking at historic trading activity, by looking at market activity. And then this means we're in a situation where a buyer and seller are able to, first of all, find the things that they're interested in very easily, and secondly, have some guidance on the price. So that communication becomes far easier and hopefully means that the transaction can go down to the minutes rather than months that we were previously talking about. And then the last piece is the marketplace itself. So we also need a place where these offsets can be traded. Okay, so if each time an offset is purchased, we have to go to the originator or a small marketplace that perhaps has 2 or 3 projects on it. That means that search is extremely difficult for any buyer. If you're able to go to the Amazon offsets, then you can type in your needs and find something that matches that. It's far easier. So the ability to create a marketplace with a large amount of supply on it means that it's far easier for buyers to find what they want, which is what we're trying to do. Okay, so I promised I wouldn't go through this, but I have brought it back. And really this is just to show which parts of this ecosystem that my company Tolam is participating in. So an offset will start with a project. So this is where the actual activity of creation of offset is done. Okay. And as I mentioned before, there's a DMRB process in order to convert that activity into an offset. Now actually this is not part of the marketplace, this is part of the ecosystem within which the marketplace exists, but it's extremely important to us. So we're working with project developers, we're working with other people developing policies to try and enable that part of the ecosystem. And in a moment I will introduce Christian Pau, who is one of the developers that we're working with in order to create a policy for Kickstarters. The workflow engine, again, is extremely important to what we do, but it's also somewhat outside the marketplace. So this is a piece of open source technology that has been developed by Hedera, and effectively it can be used, it can be accessed, and everyone can set up their own guardian in order to tokenize their offsets. And in fact, you can see Hedera symbol in the center of the ecosystem, and the reason that they're important is that they're distributed ledger technology, and in particular distributed ledger technology that has certain attributes to make them particularly applicable to this application. So the first is that they have extremely low amounts of energy for transactions. So if we look at some of the older blockchain technologies, such as the ones underpinning Bitcoin, these actually require huge amounts of energy in order to exist. So they would not be a good underpinning for an application that is designed to help climate. So in fact the way that the Hedera system works is not based on proof of work, so it's not based on it effectively being expensive to cheat. It's based on a different trust governance that allows much less energy to be consumed per transaction, in fact virtually minimal amounts, and also much higher amounts of throughput, so we will be able to cope with the scale that's required for such a market. And then you can see the Hedera, once the tokens are on the Hedera network, then we flow into the Tolam marketplace. So this is the marketplace we're developing. You can see the ARM is connected to it, and then there will be a certain number of market apps, which is how the end user will actually interface with the marketplace. And the marketplace and the ARM will be open source, so again, these are things that people can help us develop, or they can even take themselves and perhaps develop them in a way that is more applicable to what they're doing. Okay. So now I'd like to hand over to Christian, and he will talk us through the development of the Pixel projects and also I think some thoughts on the MRV. Thank you, Matthew. That's good, yeah. Hello everybody, my name is Christian Pau. I work for the Nova Institute. Thank you, Matthew, So we are collaborating with Tolam and with OCI in developing an open source end-to-end digital methodology for measuring the impacts of improved cook stoves. And today I want to share some of our thoughts behind that process, maybe not so much into the technology as into the thought process, and then I'll reference at some point I'll reference a little bit of the technicalities. So let me just start by acknowledging all my collaborators. In the first place, my colleagues at the Nova Institute. Our whole team has been in this space since 2007, 2006 really, and I work with tremendous people there, and I just want to say that this is not a one-man show. Our partners at Kerk and Actie from the Netherlands, the Protestant Church in the Netherlands, we've been working with them for over a decade, and we've had great collaboration also in developing some of these cook stove spaces. Tolam, Matthew just spoke. We started working together recently, but I think we are set for a great partnership. My friend and colleague Alex Howard is an independent software developer who's done great work in this space. Object computing journalists were with our collaboration only started recently, but I think we are working exceptionally well together, and thank you for your contribution in this. My colleagues from the Hyperledger Foundation, the Climate Action Accounting Special Interest Group, where we've been formulating some of these ideas, and of course Adera Hashcraft, which is the basis of the ecosystem on which we are doing this. So, if you can read there on the screen, if you can read that quote, I just want you to read that quote there and just let it sink in a bit, and I'll look at your faces and see who catches it first. Okay. So there is a lot of optimism. Business especially is open purpose by all. There's a lot of optimism about technology. And there's a lot of people that think if you just throw the technology at the problem, things will just be great. And things are not what they seem, okay? So there is optimism focused on if you just use the right technology, the minute the cutting edge, then things will just work. But then we are, and this is a real person by the way, Dino Gupta is a real person and he's no fool. And he said, nothing is worse than bad information with verified and proven digital signatures. Okay? So if it enters the hashgraph or the blockchain wrong, it's a mess from the start. There's nothing worse than that because you have that level of trust in the wrong thing. Okay, so that is what I want to think about together with you. And I think if you have our thoughts correctly, then we can go into the design process of the technology and sort this stuff out. So my thesis is this, that IoT, DLT, Web3, those technologies offer an opportunity for efficient monitoring, verification and reporting, but simultaneously for misrepresentation and confusion at a grand scale. Okay, here comes one example. Remember the Volkswagen scandal? Remember a while back, between 2008 and 2015, Volkswagen sold 11 million vehicles fitted with devices engineered to manipulate emission test results. That resulted in a large-scale recall, fines, and criminal prosecution of executives. So,
that's not all. Other auto manufacturers were implicated in similar activities and had to do recalls, pay fines, and do damage control in general. So it was not only a Volkswagen problem; it was an industry-wide problem. So what does that mean? It means that where there's money to be made or lost, cheating is always an option. And never underestimate the level of engineering sophistication that's going to be used to make that misrepresentation. Okay? So when we go into this, let us not be naive. Let us not think that the largest companies in the world, the most sophisticated engineers in the world, will not, in the boardrooms and in the engineering lab, not think of making misrepresentations in the new digital realm. It's almost guaranteed that will happen. So let us just keep that in mind. So that's the idea of misrepresentation. But let us also think of just confusion. So you'll notice that when we are taking a journey from optimism to pessimism, but I promise we'll get back to what I might call realistic optimism. So let's think about errors. In the practice where I come from, we do a lot of social surveys. And there is the theory of total survey error, and that says there are 5 error types that you can make when you do a survey, but that is basically in any form of data collection. And those error types are specification error, frame error, non-response error, measurement error, and processing error. So I'll just take them one by one. And let's just think about these things and think what they mean in the context of trying to capture the effects of cook stoves in the digital realm. So specification error is where what you are thinking is not, what you are measuring is not what you think you are measuring. There is no such, the thing that you're thinking you are measuring does not exist or is another thing. And I'll give some examples for each. Frame error is when the population you think you're describing is not the one that you are describing. It's the misfit between the sample and the sample frame. Non-response error is where you have missing values or missing units, and that biases your estimates. Measurement error is the obvious one, is where you mismeasure. And processing is where everything came in right, and then the analyst messes it up. And all of those errors can exist, and when we design a framework for digital monitoring, we must explicitly think of these errors and design out these errors, or make them at least visible when they pop up. So that is what I just want to ponder with you in the context of cook stoves. Where is the opportunity for each one of these errors? And how can we get rid of them? But I want you to notice something. I want you to notice that 3 of those errors is not about the data. You only get the data here with the measurement. You only get the data here. 3 of the errors is not about the data, and it's not visible in the data. So it emphasizes the importance of metadata. And it emphasizes that what happens the context of the data is where the most important misunderstanding, or if you are intentionally doing that misrepresentation takes place. And we really must think hard how we develop a methodology that sufficiently guarantees that confusion does not take place. And I'll come back to that in the end. Okay. I think we've made the point that just using sophisticated measurement technology does not guarantee that you're speaking the truth, because it's not only about the measurement. Okay, so I'm going to walk through these 5 areas and show in the context of cook stuff where they can occur. It's not exhaustive first, but just by way of example, and then by way of example, what we can do to counter this thing when we design methodologies. Okay, so let's start with specification error. So specification error is what you measure is not what you think you're measuring. And the first obvious thing there is the idea of additionality. If you get the additionality wrong, that is the same thing as getting the baseline scenario wrong. Then you think what you are measuring is you think that you're measuring is the project scenario, but it's in fact the baseline scenario if your project is not additional. Then do you complete an accurate and having good measurement is a liability. And the reason why it's a liability to have good measurement in the context of misspecified additionality is because it focuses the attention on the measurement. It focuses the attention there and doesn't allow you to stand back and say, well, this stuff would have happened anyway. If this would have happened anyway, there is no emission reduction, there is no project, there is no, so the single most important thing is to get the additionality right. Because if that is wrong, then you are not measuring an emission reduction, you are just measuring the baseline scenario. Okay. The second thing, specifically in the context of cook stoves, is the thing that stove efficiency does not equal fuel savings. The CDM methodology for cook stoves aims to do allows you to take the efficiency of a stove as an important parameter and calculate the fuel savings from the efficiency of the stove. And that test that you do is a lab test, the water boiling test. I also the neat metaphor for the water boiling test is making tea. So you take cold water, take it to the boil. There's a way in which you calculate how much of the energy in the wood ended up in the pot, and that is the efficiency. You will use that to calculate the savings by the stove. But the operation of the stove is the result of the interaction between the stove, the operator, and the fuel. And those things, even though the stove may be the same one, they only vary quite a bit. So there was a report by the Stockholm Environmental Institute which contained this great quote. It said that researchers concluded that field testing of stoves is of critical importance. So this is the WBT is a lab test. I said field testing is of critical importance as one put it. If there is a correlation between the water boiling test efficiency measures and stoves real life performance, we haven't found it yet. And that is the other thing. You think the water boiling test represents stove efficiency, but it doesn't. That is another form of specification error. And here's one that's not really a specification error technically, but it can be in the mind of someone that just receives information about the project if they are not careful. But I think also this is an area where the technology that Tolam is deploying is going to be of great help and actually be a breakthrough. And that is the idea of suppressed demand. And I think you understand how suppressed demand works. Suppressed demand says that sometimes the baseline as you level today incorporates a level of deprivation. For example, if people that cannot afford to cook 1 meal a day, but they would like to, but they cannot afford it, you cannot penalize them in terms of the emission reduction by just taking that very low baseline as the baseline, because their poverty and their deprivation is in there. You should actually define what is the acceptable level of service and take that to be a baseline and take the emission reduction. So it takes the world as it should be as the point of reference and not the world as it is. So really if you say the baseline scenario, you say, okay, the world as it is today. So President Moore says, the world as it is not a great world. Let's take it as it should be in terms of let's say of basic human rights and a basic level of service, and then take that as the baseline. And those methodologies describe that carefully, and I'm not against that. I'm just saying that if someone says, oh, such reduction in CO2, they assume to be against the business as usual scenario and not as against this. So in the mind of the receptor, there's a bit of misunderstanding. I think I'll come back now to what the answer to this is, and I think Tolam, the marketplace and the arm is a huge part of the answer to this. Okay, so how do we avoid these errors? I think I've spoken about this for a while. Well, I think continue monitoring the baseline scenario. So avoid fixed baselines. Avoid a baseline that assumes to be flat for 10 years. It could be at some level for 10 years. Nothing is like that. Monitor parameters that dynamically allows you to make a realistic baseline assessment. And ideally on the smallest granular level that you can. In the alternative emission methodology, in the gold standard of which creation I was a part, we do that on the level of the individual household. So in a certain sense, you are your own baseline, but there's measures to keep that conservative. And then, in terms of the waterboarding test and the in-field testing, a volume specification area means we should give preference to in-use assessment of baseline and project risk. In-use means by real households in real life, with as little interference as possible. That means a kitchen performance test where you let people use whatever technology and you just measure the fuel use over time. Is better, it's more realistic than a controlled cooking test. The controlled cooking test say, okay, what are the dishes that you normally make, what are the uses, and let's cook that and test that. So it's a bit closer to the lab, but it still relates to common practice. And then the waterboarding test is very precise, but somewhat irrelevant in a certain sense. So gravitate towards realistic tests, but similar to realistic scenarios as well as you can. But understand what population is represented by that test. Because you have to stratify your population there, and that practice does not necessarily represent a whole of the population. It may represent only a part of the population. So if you do something like a kitchen performance test, take care not to make the frame error, which is the next error we are speaking about. Oh, no, it's not. I just want to say the last thing. The way to maybe somewhat more satisfactorily handle the idea of suppressed demand is to quantify the benefits in multiple dimensions. And maybe the carbon benefit is not so good, but maybe the energy poverty benefit is huge. And if you have a practice where they really define the impact in a multidimensional way, then that can really help us to understand what the effect is in a more honest way. So I think this is where the Tolam's marketplace and where the arm comes in as something very valuable, and that is that ability to quantify something in a multidimensional way. What you see there on the screen is just from our side at Nova, we group the SDGs into planetary well-being goals, because no one can ever remember 17 things, but maybe you can remember the colors of the rainbow. We'll come back to that picture. Okay, so I'll move along swiftly now. The second type of error that you can make is the frame error. That is where you get the sample, what you think your sample represents is not what it really represents. You get the sample frame wrong. And there are two things I want to mention here, and that is the first is that as part of the calculation for cook stoves, you have to work out the fraction of non-renewable biomass, and there are national estimates available. And some methods allow you to use a national estimate, except if you want to create a project-specific estimate. But think what happens here. Everybody that's below the national estimate uses the national estimate. Anybody that's higher submit a project specific. So the whole thing biases upwards. And the same thing goes for default fuels. So there's if you do your project in a specific community, it is wrong to use an estimate that represents the whole country or the whole region. Because the distribution in that community is different from the national distribution, and the way in which these things are done have an inherent bias in them to bias upwards. So the solution then is to use very localized and robust and continuous estimates of fraction of non-renewable biomass. And there are very recently there's been very good work on software products that does that using remote sensing, and I think that's really the way to go. And then also in
it seems like when you can get this type of data quickly, effectively, automatically, it totally makes sense. But to use and require this specificity in the data, wouldn't it be easier to just use the community level data and then discount it so that you are just more conservative with your estimates and don't have to take so much time?
Yes, I think so, but then if you know what discount you have to apply, you already know what the value is. All your discount has to be substantial. So I think there's always there's always a trade-off between the level of accuracy. I mean, you should be as accurate as you need to be and communicate that to your buyer. I think maybe that's also part of what the marketplace, the Tolam marketplace will be able to do, is to in some way communicate to the buyer at what level would we assess this thing. Because maybe it's a global level, but it's maybe acceptable to some people given trade it off by cost or something like that. And maybe they have their own strategy, for example, to overcompensate. And yeah, so I mean, just an example, when I thought of my flight here, I thought, yeah, I have to offset this flight, it's going to be all this carbon. And what I did is I bought on the UNFCCC, I bought some offsets, but I bought more than the calculator said, but the offsets were cheap. So in a certain sense, you say, okay, you know, if this stuff for real, well, I'm not sure, but let me just overcompensate a bit. And it, you know, so you know, if you understand what you're doing, then that's fine. If you just give that information through to the end user, then that is fine. So you're very well appointed. Okay, so I'll move swiftly now. So non-response error is just where you're missing data units, and in surveys that's typically refusals, uncontactable, and even people don't know the answer. That happens. Then there's this phenomenon of stove stacking. People use different technologies throughout. And sometimes not all of them are monitored, and that is missing value that's actually important. So how do you avoid that? Well, if the data is missing completely at random, that's the first one there. You just oversample. It's normally not it's completely at random, missing value is not a problem, you just compensate by oversampling. If it's missing at random, you have to sort of take steps to address that. typically then this is uncontactables, because typically people that work or the work shifts are not contactable during the hours you do the visits. Maybe you should do a weekend visit or something like that. So compensate in your sampling method for that. And then if it's missing not that one, that is a potential problem. Then you have to be specific and make sure your server instruments itself are comprehensive, so that you don't systematically miss something which can bias the whole thing. Okay. Measurement error. I will think about this. So instruments have their limitations. I think we understand that. Server instruments have their limitations. A lot of that relates to recall bias. But any physical instrument also has its range and its accuracy and its limitations. I just want to show you some dirty data. This is I took out the time where this is a measurement of this is temperature measurements in cook stoves. So every panel represents a household over time. So it's a number of weeks there, the time differs. And then on the y-axis is the temperature. So you'll see just the temperature variation by day, and sometimes you see a spike, like there, for example. So this got my person show on the Like there, for example, you can see the person made fire there. And there was also a fire there. So you can see there was a day, and on the third day they made fire, and then on the sixth day again, and on the eighth day again. Okay. So this all is fine, but if you look at what's this stuff here, these lines here, I tell you honestly, I don't know. It came from the instrument. I think the instrument was dirty. A contact, something went wrong there. We couldn't find out what that was. We tested it on this, but it's not the device. It doesn't replicate on the instrument. The other day it worked fine. So there's something in the process of the measurement itself that yielded, in the software, that yielded that pattern there. So, and it's the other thing as well. For example, look at that cycle there and then there. The clock, the time averaging differs between that and that. Okay? And you can see here, it was moving nicely, and then suddenly in that next cycle something happened. So what I want to just show you this is, life is messy. Instruments are messy. It's not what you expect. It's not always what you expect it to be. And one of the first ways in which you see that is visualizing every single data point. So start with a visualization that a human can intuitively interpret, that shows every single data point, not some summary, not an average, not nothing, every single data point. And then it's pretty simple to pick up, but that's not right. You'll have to build a filter, you'll have to find out what happened, build a filter, get it out of the data. And that is just an example of the messiness of real life. These things do happen. And this is just something else I want to say about using instruments. Sometimes when you start using precise instrumentation, you get quite disappointed into how well your stuff is working, because they look like this was an energy efficient device. This person moved it twice in 20 days. This person moved it 4 times in 14 days. This person moved it once in 28 days. So at least we also will not move it quite a bit. So when you do precise measurements, sometimes you get disheartened by the results. But it's better to be, to have that experience early in the process. I think. Alright, let me just say one other thing. Never underestimate the value of qualitative research, because you must know what question to ask. And you don't know what question to ask if you don't qualitatively understand the situation. So the process is do qualitative research first and understand it on an intuitive level, and then formulate the questions and set up the instruments. That's our begin. Okay. The other thing is triangulate. Don't only use one measure for one phenomenon. Use different measures for the same thing and compare them to each other. And then the last thing I want to say is take a probabilistic view. Report the estimate as well as the variance. And remember that if you multiply two stochastic variables, the variance of the product is larger than the product of the variances. There's a bit of the math there in that. Okay. I just want to say one thing about processing errors. Maybe you've seen this story about these two Harvard professors that wrote an article in economics. There's the article written growth in the time of debt that suggested a specific way to handle the financial crisis, and that led to and that was actually used, and that led to austerity measures being implemented, and they made a mistake in the Excel. There's a link there for where you can actually see the mistakes that they made. So calculation errors do occur. One of the things spreadsheets are not going to cut it. You need something a little bit more robust than that. But here is what we think you should do. Open source everything. Implement unit tests. Implement sanity checks. You know, the average of this multiplied with the average should more or less give you the average of your answer. Even though it's more complicated than that, just have a way in which you can also just do a sanity check on the result. And then report in a way that you can check by pencil. And that means report from the bottom up. I measured this variable, that was the variance, that's the number, that's the sampling number, that's the average, and then this one. And the product of them is this, and here you can see it. You can actually sit and check what it checks out. So you have to report in a way that someone can understand how the calculation is built up. It can be in the form of a dashboard, it can be in a one-pager, but it's important that we don't cut out the ability of a human to understand it, but we make that part easy and be that part of the process. Okay, so we talked about this representation and we talked about mistakes. So let's just think about positive stuff now for a moment. And that is the technology path that we are on and the development path that we are on, the things that Vera is part of, the Guardian, that the marketplace, Tolam is part of, the things that we are all participating in, that can lead, I think, to an open global market for cryptographic tokens of verified commonly beneficial implementation. Let me just say that again. An open global market for cryptographic tokens of verified commonly beneficial impacts with mass participation on the supply side and on the demand side of the market. That is what I want to sort of pitch to you as a vision and as a dream. And those commonly beneficial impacts may be all those going to well-being goals. And maybe I'll just stop at this one. How do we get there from here? There are, I think, 5 things that we have to think about. The one is vertical integration. That is, how do we account for different outcomes in the same way? And how we bring that value into relationship with each other, and I think the marketplace that Tolam is thinking of is building is going to take us a step into that direction, but also the process of developing vocabularies and ontologies that represent these underlying values and that think about how they interact, that's part of the process. How horizontal integration is the process of end-to-end digital methodologies like the one we are building and all the other ones that are being built in the ecosystem, and then ecosystem development itself. And the question is, how do we incentivize that? How do we reward people for their contributions to make them it worth their while to do that? And then on the supply and the demand side, what we would like to achieve when it is to about one is the idea of massification, where everyone is a user of, let's say, of offsets. With you personally, for every transaction, every time you swipe your card, every time you open the tap, whatever, that you are also compensating for that person. Everyone is a user. Everyone can produce. That means we must have the framework for nano projects that can be done at the smaller scale, and everyone can go. Everyone is a data source. That is part of the whole verification process. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian. And Matthew would like to come up again for some concluding remarks and perhaps also any kind of discussion. So, welcome to our Digital Innovation Pavilion. I like especially your presentation and somehow this critical thinking about digital innovation, which is very much needed. As you said, there's nothing worse than a bad message or a wrong message with signature, which is makes the impression that everything is right, digitally and authorized by the right mechanisms. So that's certainly very much needed. That we don't only the prophets who say use digital innovation, but we do the other framing errors and methodological errors. I love that. So, and also Tolam Marketplace, thanks for these solutions and also this conceptualization of the solution, because what we do here at the Digital Innovation Pavilion, perhaps there's a camera, but there it is in the camera. So what we're doing here is to present digital solutions to this climate action community, climate governance community, so that they understand where the potentials are, what the needs are also from the side of the governments, so that they help to unlock the potentials of digital innovation. So it's very good to have you here. Wes, would you like to say a few words? They are your grantees, I understand. And using your Guardian methodology and tools.
I just want to say thank you again to Miroslav and Digital Innovation for Climate Pavilion for doing a fantastic job here at COP27 and sharing the different stories we have on Hedera. Both Tolam, Earth, as well as Christian and the Nova Institute are really good examples of how we can take applications, we talk to applications, we talk to people and drive real-world impacts. You can see here through Christian's presentation impacts that we're having in homes to lift up communities and create new economic opportunities, and how that interacts with folks from Tolam who are building new types of markets. And I think that when we work together using Web3 technologies and digital innovation, we can really change the future of not just carbon markets, but the future of how we address the climate crisis. And so I just want to say thank you to Christian and the Tolam Earth team, not just Matthew Porter, as well as Matthew Lawrenson, Sheeta Brewer, and the Object Computing team, for all the great work that they do in taking our community and helping that community drive real-world impact, and not just working with folks here, but everywhere else around the world. And so I just want to say thank you all, and thank you for Miroslav and the team for hosting. Thanks.